2 races remain before we determine who is going to race for a championship this season in the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series here on V-Speed. Presented to you, of course, by Golden, Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and KTM. Thank them for being along on this ride with us for the last 2 seasons of this league. And of course, we're here on V-Speed. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook, as has become the regular here for the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series. And I'm just glad to bring everybody another race at Talladega, track that some drivers love, some drivers hate, but all fans enjoy because the action is really second to none at this 2 2/3 mile facility. Let's get into it. Let's have a look at the racetrack. There it is up on your screen, 2.66 miles, 33-degree banking in the corners, the highest on NASCAR's current circuit. 16 degrees in the front stretch. That's more bank than over half the racetracks, I believe, on the circuit, definitely on the short tracks. Opened in 69, it's been producing phenomenal racing ever since then. Just a racetrack that you never know what's going to happen until the checkered flag falls, and even then, it'll leave you absolutely speechless and probably surprised, just like we were last week on Tuesday when QSR wrapped up their championship, and the championship was almost lost by about a nose at the start-finish line. Very interesting stuff there. If you haven't already, go back and watch that one. Make sure you go back and watch the Daytona race that opened this season here in the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series. That one was a thriller as well. Mike Veith capturing the victory there. He was moving to the points. You'll see that is Mike Veith's only win this year, as he's fallen a little bit down the table. Currently right behind Josh Oswald, Eric Tracy. Dylan Bates is currently leading the way with his 4 wins. Elliott Carlson's got the 1. Cody Bame got his last week. And that's what the points look like. Everyone's trying to make the top group for the playoffs. And look at the schedule. Talladega, next week, Rockingham. Then we're into the round of 12, a break for the holidays. Richmond and Kansas, Bristol and Las Vegas round out your round of 4 and will determine who your champion will be. Curious to see who that's going to be, if Dylan Bates can continue the dominance or if another driver steps up and finds a little bit of speed here late in the season. But while we have a moment, let's have a look at your Kinder Farm and Ranch Pole Award winner, and it's none other than a driver I just mentioned. How about Dylan Bates in the pole here at Talladega? Not typically known as a plate racer, showing he's got a little bit of speed in qualifying here today. 91 will start first here tonight. Congratulations to him for winning the Kinder Farm and Ranch Pole Award here at Talladega. Now down to the grid. Starting up front, as mentioned, Dylan Bates in the 91. Jason Lottridge in the Bluey machine will start in second. Third spot belongs to Carl Gerard in the 23. Jeremiah Holt starts in fourth. Fifth spot, Kyle Roberts in the 35. Brandon Wallace will roll off in sixth position. Seventh, we Tyler Rice and Stephen Davis will round out the fourth row in eighth. Ninth spot tonight belongs to Johnny Cofield in the 97. Eric Tracy rounds out your top 10. 11th, be Corey Bigley in the 128. Not electing to take a time here tonight. Neither did Cody Bame, starting 12th. 13th is Lucas Lyons making his return. Haven't seen him in quite a while. Josh Oswald starts 14th, driving the number 17 machine. 15th, be Garrett Kinder, the lone Ford in the field. Wrong about that. Kyle Roberts also driving a Ford. Kieran Church starts in 16th. Josh Lokenvitz, hopefully I got that one right, starts in 17th. Charles Stevens starts in 18th. 19th tonight, Alex Veith making his final start of the season. Christopher Heiner will start in 20th. 21st belongs to Mike Veith, the Daytona winner. 22nd will be Cam Arnold, and that rounds out your grid here tonight. So let's get to the racetrack. Just had a shot of victory lane there. One driver's hoping to end up in that location, but right now from high above the Talladega Superspeedway, you can't even see the whole track from the blimp. That's how massive this racetrack is. Currently having a look over the infield and the tri-oval. Now the field starts to roll. It's going to be a short pace lap, so we'll try and get this race analysis done here fairly quickly. 60 laps is going to make up our scheduled distance tonight. We do have 2 green white checkers available just in case we need them, and it's Talladega, so we very well might need them. Pit road speed 55 miles an hour, one of the easiest tracks to get onto pit road, one of the easiest tracks to speed onto pit road as well. 3 tire sets available just in case you need them. I don't believe you will unless you get caught up with some slid tires, maybe some flat spots from crashes, but tires should not be an issue here tonight. What will be an issue is fuel. 15 to 18 laps on a tank. We got 60 to go, so you're going to have to make a number of stops here tonight. iRacing Fixed Setup will be the one that carries you across this racetrack, and one fast repair, and you very well may need that one here tonight, as we are, in fact, in Talladega. Field's going to roll through the tri-oval. Remember, start-finish line is not in the tri-oval. Then a little further, right here, just exiting the tri-oval, we are green at Talladega. Be 3 wide to complete lap number 1. Kyle Roberts going to get that first lap led. Yes, he will. Interesting start. 3 did not go. Checked up the entire field. The driver who got the worst out of it, I believe, was Garrett Kinder. Although he's still showing positive where he started. See, one driver who is well off the pace right now is Brandon Wallace, elected to start from pit road here, so he is well behind the pack. Back up front, side by side here. The field 2 by 2. Trying to get every bit that they can. No stages here tonight, so this could be a run to the finish potentially. Never know in these races. Oh, we're wrecking already. There goes the 13. Somehow, there's no caution. Unbelievable save. Now, Johnny Cofield, there's a 97, as well as the 13 sideways on your screen. We're going to see if we can go back and replay that unreal save. There's the 13 in the middle. And the 93 just doesn't realize he's there. They both get sideways, and they somehow both save it. Congratulations, well done, both those drivers. That was a shortened Salty South Leather Wreckage Rewind to start this thing off. A little bit further up the field, Kyle Roberts getting pushed by Tyler Wrights. Outside line is rolling Eric Tracy with Stephen Davis. The only 2 drivers I can see that are out of line here. And off the gearbox, Johnny Cofield trying to make some moves as well, but most of this field single filed out in a few distinct groups. Now we're starting to double up at the front here. There's going to be 4 trucks pretty soon when Cofield gets up there, maybe 5 if Arnold can join them. 4 on the bottom, 3 on the top. Outside line will get the momentum down the straightaways. You can see the 67 able to shoot ahead. He might get the lead of the line. Yes, he will. So the outside line does a really nice job of getting a good jump off the corner. Well, 3 wide here, that's not going to work. But the inside line gets you into and through the center of the corner. It's not until the straightaway the outside line starts getting going. So that's the chess match these drivers are playing with the draft. You want to be on the inside, you want to be on the outside. Oh, we got contact again, the 151. Cam Arnold misjudged the run and got the back of him. And then he's going to pull down in front of traffic. Slow car, middle of the field, going to destroy the second group's run. The 151 going to make it to pit road. Have to use that fast repair here right away. Oh, and he's going to spin coming to pit road. Bad to worse for Cam Arnold. Oh, no. It has gone away. Front group, 11 strong. Cody Bain leads the second one. Big pushes already. 23 getting racy early in this race. Only 6 laps into 60. Pushing your pole sitter, Dylan Bates. See if the 67 is able to get another lap led here. Doesn't look like it. Side draft not going to work. Give the spot to the 35 at the start-finish line. Let's have a look back at the second group that is catching rapidly. Cody Bain, followed by Corey Bigley and Kieran Church, are the fastest drivers on the racetrack. They're about a second or so faster than the lead group, and they're just about to the draft. This is what it looks like. The nose of Cody Bain. He'll get there. Already in the draft now. So make that lead 11, make it 14. And don't look now. Look over with Kieran Shirt. Off the back bumper, that group is there as well. Whole field. Safe for Brandon Wallace and Cam Arnold is back together again. What will Alex Veith do when he gets there? 22's will try and block the run. No big moves here. Further back in the field. Let's go back up to the front of the field. See, the top lane has fallen back quite a bit. About 4 truck lengths. C67 still committed to that high line. Got Lottridge right behind him. Then Johnny Cofield, Stephen Davis. Kate's going to try and block the run, pick up the momentum, and see if he can take it to the front. Looks like he'll get alongside Tyler Rice. Can he get beside that? Number 35, Kyle Roberts. Not off a 2. Momentum going back to the bottom. There's a big shove. Door to door into 3. On board the 67. That's what he sees. He sees the 91 going to the front. Bit of a block as well. At the line, it was Dylan Bates is going to lead that lap. Pole sitter will get the lap led, but we are falling back quickly. At what cost? As we're 3 wide for second, now third. Here comes the 13 with a massive run through the middle. As it's the 17, haven't gotten with him all night. Oswald going to shoot up the middle, all the way to the high line. You can see just how, if you stay in the pack, you got a chance. How quickly these things happened. 3/4 of a lap ago, Dylan Bates was leading. He now finds himself back in 9th. Truck below the apron, that's Carl Gerard. Offset 3 wide. It's like a stampede of water buffaloes into turn number 1. These trucks with the massive hole they punch in the air. Really not much else like it in the stock car racing world. And when you're somebody a little further back in the field, like let's say Corey Bigley, right here he's just riding, saving fuel. We know that we can't make it to the end on fuel by any stretch. There's no kind of even number to make it on fuel. I'll bring up that race analysis right now. You see only 15 to 18 laps on fuel. We've already done 11, so we're getting pretty close to talking about making your first pit stop. What does that look like? This is the most chaotic place to get onto pit road, that's for sure. You'll see drivers sling it to the left to try and get slowed down as fast as they can without over braking, without overshooting the pit entry. Don't get hit from behind, but don't be too slow. It's a very difficult entry to get onto. But we're 3 wide for the lead. I don't know if we're going to make it that far. This is tight. This is tight. The 13 all the way on the outside wall. 35. Apologies, that is not the 35. That's the 73. Just got his nose chopped by Dylan Bates. You can see the field kind of falling back a little bit. A little nervous about these runs up here. Stephen Davis see it. Well, we've seen a whole lot of I think that's Brandon Wallace that they're catching up to. Yes, it is. Where does the 99 go? Go all the way to the top on the straightaway. You're going to be about 4 wide as you go around the 99. No harm, no foul there. Everyone clears easily. It's now Lottridge leading the middle. That 35 has been glued to the bottom and led most of the laps here today. As drivers start to jockey for position, where do you want to be to hit pit road? The 35's in a great spot. All he has to do is hang a left. Stephen Davis is going to fall back. Cam Arnold has left the session after the damage to the 151. He will finish in 21st. A little housekeeping for driver of the 151. I think we're pitting here pretty soon based on the majority of the field being to the inside, but Mason Lottridge just went and took the lead here. Good move for the 03. It's probably got Kyle Roberts saying, oh, biscuits. Nobody hit the pit road this time. Look back from the Bluey camp, if you will. They're back at the rest of this field, very hungry. Everybody wants to win at Talladega, and everyone feels as if they can win at Talladega. Unlike a mile and a half or a short track where there's a few drivers who definitely, have the speed, as Bluey gets shoved out of line there, Lottridge to the high side. This track, everyone has exactly the same piece of equipment, exactly the same ability to get up and drive through the field. Everyone feels that they can win here, which is what makes the racing so intense. With 19 trucks on the lead lap and 19 trucks within 2.5 seconds of each other. Everyone's got a chance at this point. Brandon Wallace is a lap down, and Cam Arnold has left the session. That makes up your 21-car grid here tonight. As we are still 3 wide with Johnny Cofield stuck in the middle. He's got no friends there. Nobody wants to help out the 97. Comes Lottridge, gonna leave Kinder high and dry. So we're still moving and shaking. Hitting this time? No. Lottridge now fills in behind the 97 as the top side rolls back. I wonder if drivers further back in this field, like maybe a Cody Bain, is running hard throttle, able to save more fuel than your leaders. Kyle Roberts has burned a lot of fuel. He's full throttle. I don't have a telemetry to show you what kind of fuel or what kind of throttle trace they have. But the savvy, crafty veterans, like Kieran Church, for example, will most certainly be part throttle back here, 3/4 throttle, half throttle, whatever it takes. Just maintain the gap to the 9. Not pitting this time either. Run it all the way out to 18. "17 laps in. Working number 18. Stephen Davis, the only truck not in line. Trying to make something happen here. Not sure if he will have that ability. See if you can slide in between the 67 and the 97. No. Lottridge is going to keep him hung outside as well. Your top 3 really has not changed today. Roberts, Rice, and there goes Rice to pit road. There we go. A lot of big truck in the field coming to pit road here. That's most of the field. Rice might have spun. I think everyone else was okay. We'll keep it glued here until they exit pit road and then see where the other group cycles out. This is on lap 18. Oh, there goes the 60, gets spun around in the box. Oh, that is going to hurt badly for Stephen Davis. That might take him out of the running here today. He's still parked in the middle of the pit road. As they leave pit road, where is Lottridge and Tracy and Oswald? They're just in the middle of 3 and 4. And they will bring it down to pit road. They all fan out to not run over each other. Tracy with a great job of braking there. Going to get around the 03. Will this be a cleaner exchange than what Stephen Davis had? And where does everybody cycle? That's the big question. Somebody missed the box. I think that was Oswald. Missed his pit stall. Very easy to do that here. The gap is 17 seconds and falling quickly. It's off of pit road. Where are the leaders? Kyle Roberts. He will easily clear. Might blend in the middle of this, actually. It might be right behind, right in front of this Lottridge machine. Try and carry as much speed as possible. Where does the 35 go? How far can he get? He's got Bates, Bain, and Tracy in front of him, as well as the lap car of Brandon Wallace. Momentum to the high line. He should be able to get by all 3 of those trucks. Side by side with Tracy. Yes, he will get that spot. As just now the 67 is getting up to speed. Yes, easily the top 2 are going to clear. Big loser on that pit cycle. Stephen Davis is all by his lonesome. Back in 18th. About half a lap behind. Back up front, your top 8. And Brandon Wallace all grouped together. 5 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Big wiggle for the 67. That was just about an 8-car crash. Somehow kept that thing pointed in the right direction. Massive wiggle in the center of the corner. So if the leader was able to make it to lap 18, I would expect the next one here to be at 36 or so. And then from there, see how it shakes out, as you can split that last run a couple different ways. Derek Tracy has got command right now. Kinder pulls out a line. A couple drivers who have been in the right place at the right time so far today. How about Charles Stevens? That 84. And how about Josh Lokenvitz in the 79? Little VSRN on the side of that thing. Love to see that. Those two haven't said a word about them yet today, but they've both done a wonderful job of just staying up in the group. As they are drivers 6 and 7 in this 8-car breakaway, as Garrett Kinder is choosing to save a little bit of fuel. Here comes Lottridge, Oswald, and Kiernan Church. Once again, the fastest drivers on the racetrack. They are moving. In fact, just set the fastest lap of the race last time by to Jason Lottridge at a 49.80. The Bluey Chevrolet started second, currently running in the 9th position. Might gain a couple right here. As the top 8 is now the top 11. It's another 13 seconds and growing. Back to Carl Gerard, Corey Bagley, Christopher Heiner, Alex Veith, Johnny Cofield, Jeremiah Holt. A ways behind them, so is Stephen Davis, Mike Veith, and Brandon Wallace. Still a lap down, but in the lead group. The only driver one down, so he will get a lucky dog if there is a caution that he is not involved in. Back up to the front. I just talked to the 79 and the 84, hanging around, not doing much. Well, here we are, battling for the lead, and they're going to get it. First lap led of the day for the 79. And it's going to come at lap number 24. Good work. 2 by 2 for the front 2 rows, single file on the bottom behind them. These drivers running in the mid 50-second bracket. The lead group is the fast group on the racetrack at the moment. Over a third of the way through this race already. And an efficient start here at Talladega. Like Mike Veith about to get swallowed up by this group. He finds him about 3 seconds in front. To the back on the high line. Big momentum off the corner. Here comes the 13. Look at him go. See the high line, the very high line. Explode out of nowhere. And now we're 3 wide for the lead again. Don't forget, Mike Veith is not too far in front of these drivers. He's right there. So off the gearbox. This is a little scary. You're about to be lapped here. See the field whiz by you on the outside. See, everyone's going to get by cleanly, however. Lucky dog battle. The 9 and the 99. Brendan Wallace is going to get that back. The races within the race, always important to pay attention to. As Lokenvitz all the way back to Kiernan Church in 11th find themselves in this group, along with at a third lap machine of Stephen Davis to the group of Brandon Wallace and Mike Veith. 3 wide for the second row. 3 wide for the first row. side draft. That's dangerous. About 84 getting right on the side of the 03, trying to slow him down. Worked there, but got to be careful doing that. Could cause a big one. Cause a multi-car accident. Trying to get that extra 1,000. Trucks as they power by, slice through the air, punch a hole in the air, and they still do it inches apart from each other. Impressive stuff we're seeing here tonight, and it's all brought to you by Golden Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, KTM. Season-long and title sponsor. Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series. Appreciate everything that they've done to help keep V-Speed doing these shows. And, well, we have an opportunity. Great time for a plug. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss a moment of the racing action you can't get anywhere else. This league, of course, is exclusive here on V-Speed. Cannot find it anywhere else on the internet. Please do hit the notification icon, like the channel, and subscribe to the channel. Just got by another lap machine. Jeremiah Holt in the 73. We got most of the field here in this lead group, not all on the lead lap. Only about 5 trucks not in this group that are on the racetrack. They are led right now by Corey Bigley. They're these 5 right here. Bigley, Heiner. We got Feith, Johnny Cofield, and Carl Gerard. The only 5 not in that lead pack, and they are losing time hand over fist right now. It is not going well for these 5 as they find themselves just a little under half a lap down. Would need a caution to be able to catch back up to the pack at this point in the race. Back up front. We're still mixing it up. For the lead, Kyle Roberts and Tyler Rice back to the top 2 spots. Being pushed by your lucky dog candidate at the moment. That is Brandon Wallace. Josh Lokenvitz and Charles Stevens committed to each other on the high side. As we just passed halfway in this 60-lap event. Closing in on pit stops here in the not too distant future. In my estimation, about 4 to 5 more laps. We will find drivers on pit road. Who's able to save? Who's able to efficiently hit pit road this time? We saw a couple inefficient pit stops. Of course, Stephen Davis being the one that jumps out, spun on pit road. So Josh Oswald slides in the pit box. He somehow was still up in the top 10. So it still worked out for the 17. Running on board with Kieran Church back here in 11th, just biding his time. Patiently waiting. His moment to strike. He won the season opener at Daytona last year. And a miraculous finish where he was on the white flag lap, I believe 11th. Entering the lap, came back around as the winner. So he knows how to get it done here at these plate tracks, the super speedways. Always fun to watch that blacked out 22 get after it on the big tracks. But up front, battle for the lead still. They have not gone away. The top 2 drivers on the high line. Lokenvitz and Stevens trying to battle with Roberts and Rice. Lawrence joined the party. The battle for the Lucky Dog is heating up as well. They're side by side in row number 3. That's the 60 and the 99. That's a battle that you definitely want to win, so you might not get another caution depending on how this race is going. We saw 2, I would call them moments in this race. So obviously the one with Kinder and Cofield earlier, as well as the push to the back of the 78. That got him a little bit squirrely in 3 and 4, but that's really been the only moments of, oh no, that we've had in this race to this point. As we start lap 35. One of the more tame Talladega races that I've seen. That just shows how skilled these drivers are. This is not an easy place to drive when there are 20 others on the racing surface as well. But don't look now. The battle for the Lucky Dog has heated up. Those top 3 drivers in the top lane there, the 60, 73, and 9, all a lap down. Brandon Wallace, the driver we're focused on in the 99. On the bottom, that white and pink car, also a lap down. That is the battle, if there is a caution, to get your lap back and race with the leaders again. But what will the pit stop sequence have in store for us? About a lap or 2 away. The lead group is broken up a little bit. A few tenths. Back to the back of this field. Lottridge falling back quickly. Wondering if he's trying to find a hole in line. He doesn't like the racing he sees up front. Back up front here. 78's way out of line. See the that second group has fallen back quite a bit. Bates, Tracy on back. You see them, that black truck, the green splitter right there, currently running at 6. That's Dylan Bates. Bit of a gap. How about a second between him and the drivers in front of him? Not too much to overcome with the way the draft works. It works out until about 1.3 seconds in my experience. So he still has a hint of that draft as he's pulling back in. Dangerous times. You don't want to lose the draft, especially at this stage of the race. We've already seen a number of drivers struggle with that. Obviously, the 4 lap down trucks all lost the draft at some point in time. Then that other 5 from Bigley through to Girard as Rice hits pit road again. Leaders on pit road. It's like a smooth entry for all of them this time. We'll again keep it locked here to see how efficient these stops are. Very important, as we've seen already, to have good, clean pit stops here at Talladega. Not taking tires, just fuel. You will probably end this race on the tires you started with. We're able to get in and out of the box. Smooth so far. Looks like we're taking tires a little further back. Maybe 4 tires for everybody here. We are going to take 4 tires. Where does this cycle out? Garrett Kinder, who is now your leader in the 13. Will he hit pit road this time? Yes, no, yes, yes he will. Oh, that was late. That was late. That could have been a day ender for a few drivers, as Dylan Bates is now the leader of the race. Into the box cleanly here. Yes, he is. Bates rolling turns 1 and 2. Got Tracy, Oswald, Church, and Bain behind him. Down the back stretch. Bigley and company on pit road as well. Bigley, Girard, See where they cycle out of this as well. Middle of the cycle. This is a... Oh, we got a block further back. The 22 and the 78 going at it. So those 5 or 6 are able to make it to pit road. Got Johnny Cofield not too far behind them as well. I believe the first driver on the racetrack right now will be Charles Stevens. Where's he? They get around those drivers, put him back a lap down. 84, 35, and 79 shown up to play today. How will this cycle out? Charles Stevens running in 5th. Quickly catching those top 4. He's going to go right around him. Pull out of line. And straight to the lead. Top 9 back together again. This time the big loser on that pit stop was Jason Lotridge. Finds himself back in 10th. About 8 seconds and quickly dropping behind the lead group. It's another 20 or another 10 or so seconds back to Christopher Heiner and this trio of Alex Veith and Corey Bigley. Another 3 seconds back to Bame and Gerard, who is about to go a lap down. Wallace, Stephen Davis, Jeremiah Holt, Mike Veith, and Johnny Cofield are a lap down. Carl Gerard's about to go a lap down. Off the roof. The Florida driver. Out. So lose the lead lap here. So there goes the field. By on the inside. Single file. Going to get way out of the way here. Kyle Roberts has been the dominant truck today. Led 21 of the 42 laps we've run so far. He has been up front. Started in 5th. Had a great race. All race so far. The driver in front of him, Charles Stevens. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your No Next Fast Repair Hard Charger of the Race award winner. Has gained 16 positions from where he started. Currently leading the way with probably one more pit stop to go. But looking to be in a great position right now with Charles Stevens in the 88. Your No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger of the Race award winner. Yes, it's that time, folks. It's award season. As your top 5 have separated themselves from the rest of the group, Dylan Bates is about 5 seconds back. Things fell apart very quickly once they got around the 23. Not enough trucks working together the back half of the top 10 to be able to make this work. There's only the 3 of them. Christopher Heiner obviously 21 seconds back, and Eric Tracy blinking in and out. Going to make it very difficult to draft with. That gap is growing. They had a 3-second slower lap last time by. Something clearly happened. cause them to lose so much time. So if it stays green like it has, it's looking like a 5-horse race. Got Charles Stevens, Kyle Roberts, Josh Lokenvitz, Garrett Kinder, and Tyler Rice up here in the top 5. Of course, in with this group is the 99 of Brandon Wallace and the 60 of Stephen Davis. Those two fighting for the lucky dog, currently side by side, fighting for that lucky dog to be the first driver 1 lap down. And this is where strategy starts to get a little bit weird. You can pit right now and make it to the end on fuel, but you gotta pit with somebody. You can't pit by yourself. Do you leapfrog your competitors? Or do you stay to the status quo? That is the question drivers are asking right now. What do we do? Drivers in their various voice chats trying to work out the plan right now, as there are a number of distinct groups around the racetrack. Obviously, we're focusing on the leaders right now. Stevens through Tyler Rice and Josh Oswald leads this group. Oswald, Tracy, Kieran Church, Dylan Bates, that's 6th through 9th. Christopher Heiner a little farther back, about 7 seconds behind, leads a gaggle of cars. You got Heiner, you got Veith, Johnny Cofield's leading this group, the lap truck, Montridge, Bigley. And then a massive gap back to Cody Bain, who's all by himself, about to go a lap down here. Another handful of laps. Then the lap machines of Brandon Wallace, Stephen Davis, Jeremiah Holt, Carl Gerard, Johnny Cofield, and Mike Veith scattered throughout the field. There's your lead group again. This is where it gets interesting, because this is where, if you're in the lead group, you're thinking, we're just going to pit together and settle it amongst the 5 of us. That's it. That's the end of the discussion. If you're any other group, you got to be thinking, what can we do to gain time? We can pit now. It would be a fairly short pit stop because we haven't burned much fuel. We could get out and we can make it to the end on fuel. The flip side, if a caution comes out and you get a green-white checker, you probably can't make it on fuel. If you run it long, you're protected in case a caution comes out. You won't lose a lap. You won't lose track position. But you might lose it if other people pit before you. It gets very fluid, very interesting. And I'm excited to see here these final 12 laps or so. What are we going to end up with? Mixed bag on strategy. A mix of drivers. They pit within about a 3-lap window of each other. The last driver on pit road was Cody Bain. And now they're pitting here. Here we go. Leaders on pit road. Clean entrance that time to pit road for all these drivers. So what's going to happen here with about 12 laps remaining when the leaders hit the pit lane for what will likely be the final time. Oswald will take the lead here. Quick stop. About 6 to 7 seconds in the box. Inefficient exit though, 3 wide's not going to work. They'll single file out here. Josh Oswald leading this group here. This, remember, was about 6th through 9th. Johnny Cofield being gracious enough to lead them around, putting the air for them, so to speak. Will this group pit this time, or will this group run it all the way until the tank is empty? They will stay out. The leaders, the ones who just pitted, they are 11.5 seconds back and gaining rapidly. I'll give you a lap time comparison as it becomes available. this group are what we're looking at right here. Oswald, Tracy, Kieran, and Church. Very inefficient. Nobody together. Nobody pushing. Now they're out of line. This is not good news. Speed-wise, I think they're trying to cycle drivers around to see who can actually lead this group. Oswald says it's not him. He's not the guy to do that. Eric Tracy's going to take over the lead for what will be the 5th lap he's led today. That last time by, Eric Tracy ran a 53.94. Charles Stevens ran a 50.3. How about 3.6 seconds faster? And you can already see that this group has basically caught them. Like that's the group that hasn't hit it yet. And look how efficient all these drivers are, right on each other, right pushing each other, versus this group, which is now finally gotten together, but still behind Johnny Cofield. They cannot catch that 97. Charles Stevens and company, they are rolling right now. What do they do when they get there? The separation amongst all these trucks is massive. 88 to the high side. He's going to get one easily here. There goes Bigley. Oswald and Lottridge. Dylan Bates. Kieran Church. Eric Tracy. And finally, Johnny Cofield. New leader was your previous leader, Charles Stevens. And they've already pit, so they are in the catbird seat here to the end of the race. Drivers behind them may be hitting pit road here. No, they are not. Just getting out of line a little bit. So what is the plan for this second group? Are they perhaps saving fuel? Maybe they're purposely running slower lap times to try and save a little bit of fuel because they've already lost the lead group. But Stevens and Lokenvitz have worked well this entire event. Find themselves 1-2 with under 10 to go. The battle for the win as it stands right now. Has about 6 trucks in it, 5 trucks in it. Charles Stevens, Josh Lokenvitz, Garrett Kinder, Kyle Roberts, and Tyler Rice. But here comes the 91 of Bates. Eric Tracy as well, Kieran Church, Jason Lottridge, and Josh Oswald making a 10-truck battle. As we close in on 6 laps to go. Can Bates and company make it to the end? Remember, this race, the penultimate one in the regular season, is Rockingham next week. It'll be the final shot to determine who will make the playoffs. This is an important race by all accounts. Only a few drivers really know that they're going to be in. This is a great time to add your name to that list. And also to go out here and grab a win. Potentially your first, maybe your second, maybe your 5th this season. They work around opening race winner Mike Veith. not having the day he wanted, of course. He would have loved to sweep the plate races. And I'm sure Alex Veith would have also loved to get a win here today. Going to be his final race in this series. 51 going to hang it up after this. Hate to see him go. Been fun watching Alex Veith race in this series throughout the 2 seasons I've been broadcasting it here on V-Speed. But wish him all the best in the future in whatever he chooses to do. Let's give out a hard luck award. I think that's going to go to none other than Brandon Wallace. Never did get a chance to really run in this race with the starting from pit road situation. Hard luck award by Rice Farms. How about Brandon Wallace here tonight? Never ran any higher than 16th, where he currently runs. Was always a lap down in this race. Better luck next time for driver 99. Best appearing paint of the day. Let's not forget about that. How about, I had this one from the very start, that 84/88 is sharp, and this is the battle for the lead as well. Charles Stevens, great looking scheme. That's going to be your Veith's 3D Printing Best Appearing Paint Award. Congratulations, put that one on the mantle. You earned it. Nice looking scheme. Battle for the lead is intense. Those two on the bottom, Stevens and Lokenvitz, have worked so well together. I believe we're running out of fuel. Dylan Bates might need to make an emergency pit stop here. Kinder's out of line. A few of these drivers stretching it farther than anyone has today. Gonna run it until the tank is dry. But there's only 3-2 to go now. 2 laps remain here at Talladega. Charles Stevens get his first win of the year. Will the fuel tank hold up for the 67, for the 91, among others? There's a wreck in the back. Oswald and Lottridge. They're wrecking. They're rolling down the backstretch. Mike Veith, and caution is out. This changes everything. The entire race flipped on its ear. A side draft gone wrong. And this is, wow, I cannot express how much this changes everything. Let's go back and see what happened here. A little further back here. On the Salty South Leather Wreckage Rewind. Saw the 17 up high, 03 on the bottom. Just a miscommunication of where those drivers were. See it right there. Yeah, I don't know if Lottridge just didn't realize that those 2 trucks were out there, but a big hit, and then obviously the 9 right in the door of the 17. Fast repairs are available. No one's used one yet, so not going to hurt in terms of being able to finish the race, but track position certainly going to be affected here for all 3 of those trucks. But this certainly changes things. Green-white checker number 1. This will not be a natural, as we were already 2 to go. So the first green-white checker of the night. Your first caution. We were so close. We were about 2 miles away from going wire to wire. Green flag racing at Talladega, something you don't see very often. Not happening here today. That was your first caution of the day. Only one so far. 22 lead changes at the start-finish lines we've seen so far here tonight. Now, my question is, we should be seeing, yes, we are seeing drivers on pit road right now. Your top 7 stay out, but Dylan Bates is going to lead the rest of the field on pit road. So now everyone can make it to the end. It's a dash now. It is going to be a dash to the end. We are going to step aside here for a quick commercial break. You've been watching the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series here on V-Speed, presented by Golden, Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and KTM. Don't go anywhere. Be back with the finish of this race right after this.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back here on V-Speed. I've been your host and producer, Morgan Cook, here tonight, getting ready for a thrilling finish here at Talladega. I believe the pace lights are out on the pace truck. We're getting ready to go green to settle this thing. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and even if you haven't, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the action you can't get anywhere else. You found us. You might as well stick around a little while longer. But in just over a mile, that pace truck will pull off of the racetrack, and these trucks will get at it. The two drivers who have worked so well together today, Charles Stevens and Josh Lokenvitz, will start beside each other on the front row. The 35 of Kyle Roberts has led the most laps, usually with the number 6 right behind him. They will start 3rd and 4th. Some heavy hitters up at the front so far here tonight. See your whole field up on the screen there. Only one driver not in the frame, that is Cam Arnold. He left the session about 56 laps ago with suspension damage. Will not return to the race. Hold on to your hats, folks. This one is about to get wild. Was green up until the caution on the backstretch. Truck's going to roll into the restart zone. 84 and 79. We're dooring each other on the initial start. They have gotten out to a massive gap. It's 4 truck lengths. For the front two, they better get it sorted out quickly. They're going to get swallowed up by the field. Neither of them can get an advantage. And here comes the 35. Look at the run. Where does he go? Where will he go? stacked up both lanes. To the outside goes the 67 of Eric Tracy. Remember, one green white checker left in the bank just in case. But you've only got a quarter lap to use it. The 84 going to get pushed around. He's your leader at the moment. 79 not going away. Can they make it back to the flag? Will we get the white? Yes, we will. Next flag ends the race. Can we make it back around? That's the question. The dynamic duo on the bottom, Stevens and Lokenvitz, controlled the race for the latter half. Working together, pushing for all it's worth. 35 to the outside. Kyle Roberts has a run. He's going to get there. Side by side down the back, off center on the bottom. They're all falling apart. They're 4 wide, 5 wide. They're wrecking. It's 4 cars going for the win. They're rolling in the back. But it's going to come down to this. In the 84, the 35, at the start-finish line. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Kyle Roberts. By 18 one-thousandths of a second. Give Kyle Roberts the flag. Wow, what a finish. But before we do too much celebrating, let's go back and see that horrific accident. A little further back, all centered around that 91 machine of Dylan Bates. Few wreckage rewinds required here. From the blimp, we see them. They're all 4 wide here. Just not enough room. Heiner leaves the bottom. Tyler Rice is in it, and the whole field's blocked. You got trucks barrel rolling through the air here. There's 4 trucks up in the air. Somehow Stephen Davis gets through. Just a bad scene there. From Johnny Cofield's on board. Let's see what he saw. He got a pretty big piece of this. Call him, hi, Brandon Wallace. That's not a good sign. Head on into the outside wall for the 97. These are the accidents that make you glad it's a sim. Absolutely. That was your final Salty South Leather Wreckage Rewind of the day. Back live, there is your winner. Kyle Roberts. Good work for the 35. Led the most laps today. Just over a third of the race, and when it mattered, he led that final few hundred feet. Just barely getting by Charles Stevens, who'll come home in second here tonight. But don't go anywhere. It's right after a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with our Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show, as well as interviews with our top 3, Kyle Roberts, Charles Stevens, and Garrett Kinder. Don't go anywhere. Be back right after this. You just watched the finish here of the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series from Talladega Superspeedway. Presented to you by Golden, Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and KTM. Back in just a few. Back with you here on V-Speed. Welcome to the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show, where the first order of business is to go over the finish of this race. 1 caution, and it came with 2 laps to go. Had to use our green-white checker. 23 lead changes. That last one happened exiting the tri-oval. to get the win for Kyle Roberts, where he started in 5th. Stevens going to finish in 2nd, Garrett Kinder 3rd, Lokenvitz in 4th, and Heiner somehow brought it back to finish in 5th. Alex Veith in his finale in this series will finish in 6th. Good run for him tonight. Bigley in 7th, Kieran Church 8th, Tyler Rice 9th, and Bluey, Jason Lottridge, Biscuits rounds out the top 10. 11th tonight, Dylan Bates tried to make a move in the middle, did not work out for him. Your pole sitter finishing 10 spots behind where he started in 11th. Eric Tracy will finish 12th. Brandon Wallace never did get that lap back, but he finished in 13th, his highest running spot of the day. Stephen Davis is going to finish in 14th. Jeremiah Holt rounds out your top 15. Johnny Cofield in 16th. Oswald 17th, matching the truck number. Cody Bain never was a factor tonight. He finished 18th. Mike Veith in 19th. Carl Gerard in 20th. And the last truck on the grid here tonight. Let's get him on the grid here. There we go. Arnold. Lucas Lyons never did take the grid here this evening. But that is a look at your 22 trucks who entered the session here this evening. But now let's get down trackside and chat with your top 3, starting off with 3rd place, Garrett Kinder. Let's not forget the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show logo up on the screen. Can't forget that, of course. Garrett Kinder, Morgan up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, Morgan?
That was quite a race. I don't think I've ever seen a Talladega race go almost wire to wire with a caution, obviously, with 2 laps remaining. You were in a pretty good spot there at the end, regardless of how this shook out. But 3rd place, how do you assess the day?
You know, we didn't really play the strategy right. If we would have saved the whole time, we could have run all out on the last run without having to stop and pit and do all that extra strategy stuff that we ended up doing. But man, hats off to everybody I was running with: Robert, Stevens, Lokenvitz, Heiner, Veith, Rice. I can't even remember who all was running with us, but we all basically just made a pact and said, hey, we're going to go in on this lap. We know we're all short, and we're going to try and run these guys back down because they're all running saving fuel. So man, it was a good time. A little bit of beating and banging early on, but everything got kind of settled out. Had to save it a couple times, getting almost turned. But yeah, it was a fun race. Me and Kyle, we've been racing the super speedway stuff together for a long time. You know, we were teammates back in the day doing it, and told him early on. I said, man, if you're in front coming down to it, I'll shove you, and it worked out.
Yeah, it sure did. You got him that lead just at the last possible second, as is customary here at Talladega. Yeah, the strategy, you and the group you were with played it perfectly between the strategy and just being able to be more efficient on and off pit road, more efficient with the draft. You came out about 11 seconds behind that group and were able to pass them back within a couple laps. And it looked like your group, that top 6 or 7, was in the catbird seat to settle it amongst themselves. It ended up kind of working out that way anyway with the way the cautions fell. But, I mean, just what do you have to say about just the quality of driver in this league to be able to go almost 60 laps here without a caution?
Man, I tell you, I've been with Rebels very, very early on, either late season 1 or I started season 2 with them, and the skill level it's just gone up exponentially. A lot of the same original guys are still in here. Got some new faces in here too, and just the skill level is unreal. You know, early on, Dega, you know, you're expecting 5-10 cautions easy. Somebody's bumping somebody. It's taking everybody out. I think we were running 2 fast repairs back then. It was a wild west back then. But yeah, man, these guys, I can't say enough about them. It's fun. You know, we get together and we door bang a little bit, and we can get away with it now because everybody's pretty skilled at doing it, and we know what we can get away with, what we can't. So yeah, huge shout out to the whole field. It's quite refreshing to get in one of these Rebels races and just get out there and hanging out and having a good time.
It was definitely a good time up here in the V-Speed booth watching all this. I mean, you all had the strategies working. There were 3 different groups at one point in time on 3 different strategies trying to make their way back up to the front of the field. It was good stuff to watch here. But who do you want to shout out? Who do you want to thank here for a well-earned 3rd place finish at Talladega tonight?
Of course, I got to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch Ratchet Speed Shop. Thank my wonderful wife for letting me get on here and race with the guys. Don't get to do it every week, or I could. I just sometimes skip. But thank her for letting me come out here and just hang out. Thank you up in the booth. Kinder Farm and Ranch for the pole board, hard charger, no next fast repair, Salty South leather, flexible freight solutions. I think who is it? Honda Suzuki. Who is it? Can't
Golden.
remember the name of Golden
Yep.
Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and KTM
Yep.
for being the main sponsor of the series. Brandon for running the league. It's still humming right along. I was kind of worried that after COVID and stuff that it would kind of die off, but man, we're still humming. I think we're still running 4 or 5 days a week. So big shout out to all the guys, especially Cody and Tyler running this truck series. They put together a heck of a schedule. It's a little bit of mix of everything, and it's a good time. Thank you up in the booth. Shout out to Alex. He's been running with these guys since day one, race one, and his last full time race is he's got put to a different shift at work. So we're gonna miss seeing him out there, but glad we had a good turnout for his last one.
Yeah, definitely. He brought it home in 6th spot here tonight, so definitely a good end to his full-time career here in the original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series. But thanks for your time, Garrett. Congratulations on 3rd spot. We'll see you next
Thank you,
week. Maybe.
Maybe
Rockingham. Could be fun.
I'll be there.
Sounds good. All right, we'll see you at Rockingham. That's your 3rd place finisher tonight, Garrett Kinder. Up to the 2nd place finisher, Charles Stevens. Charles, Morgan up in the booth, you got a copy.
I gotcha.
All right, well, I know there's got to be some disappointment, but I don't want to talk about that right now. We're going to get to that in a minute. You worked so well with the 79 all day. Was there a plan coming into this race to work together?
Yeah, I should say I wasn't even going to run this race, but he actually messaged me and for Alex's farewell race, we was going to come in here and show what we had together, and we did work pretty good all night long, and yeah, it definitely sucks for that drag race day at the end, but like I said, it was all for the fun of it, and I'll do it again, man.
Yeah, 2nd spot by 18 one-thousandths of a second. Doesn't get much closer than that here at Talladega. But I mean, you had a great race throughout. You led the second most laps tonight with 20. We're always a force up at the front, especially the back half of this race. You kind of dominated it. You and the 79 with him pushing you, you were able to do whatever you need to do. But I want to ask you about the last restart. So you and the 79 of Lokenvitz, you're able to launch, and you launched together, and you got about 4 car lengths on the field, the two of you together. Was there a thought between the two of you thinking, "Oh man, we just got out way too far," and at that moment, what can you do to kind of mitigate the damage?
Yeah, so my plan was to take the restart on the top side, and was hoping that Tyler behind me was going to give me a pretty good shove out front to where I could get clear of the 79 after the start-finish line to take over that bottom. And I don't know what happened with him on that top side, but I took off and I had no one behind me, and the 79 didn't really have no one helping behind him, so we was basically just in a drag race by ourselves, just figuring out what we was going to do. And then once Tyler did get to my back bumper and I was able to clear down in front of this, Josh there, is when we got to that racing for that drag race at the end.
Yeah, and then I imagine there was probably some shock when you looked in the mirror and saw only 4 of you made it out of turn number 4. The rest of the field all wadded up in the turn 4 wall. What is it? Do you ever look behind you at that situation and think, "Oh man, this what do we have for drivers around us?" Or is it all out the windshield?
I actually did not see the wreck behind me. I knew I had my teammate Josh behind me, and he basically just, hey, keep it on the yellow line, and I'll do what I could do to get you this win. And I was just focused out the front windshield to keep it on that yellow line. And a couple of times there, I tried to side draft Kyle, and I don't know if that slowed me down or not. I saw that head of steam coming from Kinder and Kyle, and I just tried to do whatever I could to try to slow that top line down. And I think maybe that slowed me down a little bit too much for that drag race.
Yeah, it just wasn't quite enough at the end there, but solid effort tonight. I mean, nothing to hang your head about by any stretch. But Charles, while we got you up here, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out here for a second place finish at Talladega?
Well, I want to start with the sponsor Reed, Gordon Suzuki Honda for the main sponsor, the Pole Award from Kindle Farm and Ranch, and then I want to reach out and congrats Alex. I know he didn't want to step away, and he's doing it because of work reasons, but big props to him. I know it's hard for him to step away, and I want to put the second place into Alex's hands and tell him I appreciate everything he does for this league and everything else that he does. So I appreciate him.
Yeah, it'll definitely be different not seeing that 51 on the racetrack here every Sunday night, but sometimes life takes over. Isn't that right?
Exactly. That's right.
Right. Well, thank you for your time, Charles. Appreciate the words, the interview here, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Second place finisher tonight, Charles Stevens. All right, now to the top step of the podium. None other than Kyle Roberts in the 35. Kyle, Morgan up in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, Morgan, how you doing?
I am doing quite well. Not quite as well as the driver of that big frig number 35 machine who finds himself in V-Speed Victory Lane.
Oh, man, how much fun was that?
That was pretty fun. I mean, what was it, 58 laps, 59 laps, caution-free?
Yeah,
And
at Talladega, that's amazing.
Came down to a just a bad lane change further back in the field, caused that only caution of the day, re-racked him up. I mean, you had the strategy played properly where you were going to be in a situation to win the race regardless. You know, if the caution comes out or not, you have to work around obviously those two in front of you, the 84 and the 79. But you were in the right situation, had the right strategy. Caution comes out. What's going through your head when your strategy that was working wasn't going to work anymore?
Well, it still did kind of, because it re-racked us all of us that were running together. It re-racked us up at the front anyway. So I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like it much, but we did. It still worked out,
Right?
you know.
Right.
It was, you know, it could have changed the race maybe a little bit, but we were good enough that we didn't have to save fuel or anything there at the end like that other group was trying to do, I think. And might have made them a little short to where they couldn't run with us as hard, but it all worked out. I mean, it's pretty much a perfect race for everybody.
Yeah,
my team anyway.
Yeah, you led the most laps here tonight. Had Kinder behind you for most of it. Tyler Rice as well pushed you for a good chunk of this race, and you really dominated that first half. And then kind of got cycled back a little bit. Was that by design, or was that just the 79 and the 88 being able to work ahead of you?
I think that's part of having the pit box that's closer to the front, is they get in quicker and they get a leave on you a little bit. And that's the only thing I can figure out, how come I'll cycle back a little bit, because I had a good pit stop. I mean, nailed it both times. And, you know, I think having a pit box up front, you know, I started, I think, 5th, and all the other guys were behind me, you know, so they naturally got there quicker. And then they left a little quicker, you know, and it's hard to leave when somebody's right next to you too, you know, coming out.
Right. Yeah, we saw a driver or two get spun on pit road here today, just with some coming in, some coming out. We saw a driver spin coming to pit road. It's not as easy as people say it is here coming and pitting here at Talladega, but you're able to do it just fine and came home as the winner here today. Let's talk about that final restart. So you restarted, I believe, in third. Yeah, I was third.
Started in third, and I was, you know, kind of, you know, there on the bottom. I was like, well, we'll see how it works out. And then something happened, and I think Josh went up, or somebody went up from the bottom that was in front of me, and it kind of gave me a little where I could get up to the next guy. because it was kind of a weird restart too. Some of them didn't get going like they should have. I didn't think, and but it gave me a spot. And then when I saw that me and Kinder were both clear to get up to the top lane, I mean, it was on then on that last lap.
And then I'll ask you the same question that I asked Charles. Were you aware that that big crash happened coming out of 4?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
were aware?
I saw it. I saw it. I was glad to see we were in front of it, and
Right.
the white flag was already out because.
Right. And then to piggyback off of that, so you knew the caution came out. At that point, are you thinking, okay, I know there's 4 of us, 2 top, 2 bottom. It's just a drag race, or is there anything else going through your mind to think, what do I have to do to get back to the flag?
And, it was just a drag race. I knew with Kinder pushing me, we've been in that situation. Shoot, I don't know how many times over the last 6, 7. Well, what is this? Over the last 4 years, I don't know how many times we've run this track, but you know, between this league and other leagues, you know, me and Kinder have been in together, and I mean, we've been in the same situation, you know, a dozen times, and he knows how I drive it, and I know how he drives it, you know, and I'm never worried with him pushing me. And I think likewise, he ain't worried if I'm pushing him. But you know, these big tracks are my kind of what I really like. So
Clearly showed here tonight. Was able to get the win. Got the dub, number 1 of the season. Going to help in the points, certainly. And while we got you up here, anyone you want to shout out or thank for that you haven't already for the win here today?
Yeah, I want to thank Kinder for sure. I want to thank all the sponsors: Golden Suzuki Honda, Kinder Farmer Ranch, No Next Fast Repair, Salty South Leather, Flexible Freight Solution, Beast 3D Printing, and of course, I want to thank you, the broadcast team, because it sure makes it fun where you can show your family and friends that you did well, you know, and watching it back on YouTube and stuff.
It definitely makes Monday morning like, hey, look what I did yesterday. It's it is a lot of fun, definitely. But congratulations, Kyle.
Sure. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for what you do for us too.
You bet. Yeah, congratulations, big win here tonight, and we'll see you next week at Rockingham.
All right, man. We'll see you.
You bet. All right, that's your winner here tonight, Kyle Roberts in the 35. But that is going to wrap up the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show. Thank you to them for being on board with us all season long, providing us with this post-race coverage. But for everybody here, the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series, Tyler Rice, Cody Bain, Brandon Wallace, everyone else who brings this to us. Of course, season-long sponsor, Golden Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and KTM for what you do, providing funding to bring you the broadcast as well as everything else that makes this league go around. These sessions are not free, unfortunately, on iRacing. They do cost to be able to put these sessions up, so thank you to all the sponsors that make this possible, but especially our season-long sponsor, Golden Suzuki. Let's have a look at the schedule ahead. Rockingham next week to determine your playoff drivers. And then from there, it's on to playoff racing at Auto Club Irwindale, a break at Richmond, Kansas, Bristol, and Las Vegas to crown a champion here for season number 9. And for everyone here at V-Speed, Bradley Cooper, Eddie Smith, Adam Baker, all the other producers and broadcasters behind the scenes, especially Logan Threlkeld, who will be bringing you more of this action in a few weeks' time through the end of the season. I've been Morgan Cook, your host and producer here tonight. Thank you, good night, and we'll catch you next time in Rockingham.